Hi, Dr. TJ Dixon, your intuitive guide to transformation, connecting to your best life. Today's message is about aromatherapy, and I'm going to share with you some of the benefits of aromatherapy and the top 10 essential oils that I personally use to keep myself well and keep myself living my best life. Now, your top 10 oils may be something completely different because there are a ton of essential oils out there to help us live and be well. So first, with aromatherapy. Aromatherapy is an excellent alternative therapy to whatever we may be going through and whatever normal treatments, even conventional treatments we have. For instance, if you are suffering from, say, a cold, you may be taking some sort of over-the-counter medication to help you deal with the symptoms of that. You might have cough drops or something like that. And you might even be doing something natural like using a neti pot or steam to help open you up. All of that is wonderful. Essential oils can also help, though, with the healing process to help you feel better, quicker. You may be able to feel better and heal faster. So essential oils, and sometimes people just use the essential oils, period, for their actual treatment for some of the things that we commonly are ailed with. So it's excellent for, essential oils can be excellent for the body. Like I said, to maybe heal something that is going on within the body. It's also excellent for our minds. There have been times when I have used some essential oil even before going into a meeting or going to work, and maybe I'm really stressed out, and sometimes I would just open up a bottle of essential oil and just smell it and just really breathe in deeply the fragrance of the essential oil to help center me, help calm me. Maybe it helps to rejuvenate me or give me some energy. So using those essential oils can be really even helpful for our minds, particularly when we're stressed out and we're needing to calm down or get more energy or something to that effect. And they also are great for our spirits. Sometimes there's just times where essential oil can be, it just seems like it helps me to connect better to God. Just by having certain fragrances around me, it helps me to prepare to make a connection. So essential oils, they can be used in so many different ways in our complete wellness. And so now I'm going to share some of the essential oils that I use and why I use them. Now, I will say before I start to share, if you do Google searches on any essential oils, there's going to be all types of ways that you can use them and all types of potential benefits from them. Some essential oils, though, may resonate with you a little bit differently than maybe they do me or someone else. And so what I suggest you do is definitely do your research about the essential oils, but also go by your intuition. Use your discernment. What essential oils do you feel drawn to? And why do you feel drawn to them? And this is regardless to what the research may show, because that may, although the research is very valuable, what's most valuable is how you actually relate to the essential oils. The other thing is, too, that if you are praying and meditating, you may get inspiration to use a particular oil, because I have gotten that before, a particular oil that maybe you didn't even resonate with in the past, or maybe you had never even thought about using for a particular reason. And God can also give you some information as to what may really work for your body at that particular time, or your mind or your spirit. So use the essential oils safely, yes. Also use the ones that resonate with you for whatever it is that you are wanting to use them for. Now I will share the oils that I really like to use, and I actually have 9 of them with me now, but there's a 10th one that I don't currently have, but I do like to keep in stock, and I keep it regularly. I also am not endorsing any particular aromatherapy oil brands. I would say do your research, make sure you get a high quality oil, and make sure that the quality of the oil goes with how you're going to use your oils. I will say I do not consume any essential oil. I have heard there are some brands that are high enough quality to where they're food grade and you can consume them. I really use my essential oils in diffusers. I will smell them, and I also use them in bath water or put a few drops in the bottom of my tub. And sometimes if I just want to have a really nice smell going into my bathroom, I'll put a few drops as well in the toilet bowl. So that's how I use my essential oils. Now, first essential oil, because I'm going to be grabbing these so I can read the labels that I use, it's peppermint oil. And so I do use peppermint oil quite a bit. With the peppermint oil, what I like to use this for is I really just like the scent of peppermint oil, but I have used this before. I used to keep a bottle of this in my drawer at my job because when I smell peppermint oil, it seems to give me, it awakens something in me. It makes me feel more energized. It makes me feel like it calms me down in a way, but it also energizes me. And so I use it really as just a great scent. I also use it to smell to give me energy. I like to put a few drops of this to make my bathrooms smell fresh and just give them a nice crisp smell. Sometimes I will put a few drops of this at the bottom of my tub. I don't use this in bath water though, because you have to be careful with peppermint oil. It can burn. It definitely has to be diluted when you use it. You can smell it safely, but if you're going to try to put any of this on your skin or anything like that, you have to make sure it is well diluted. Peppermint oil, small amounts of it sometimes are even found in foot soaks, and so it can definitely help with your feet if you have tired, achy feet, or if you have smelly feet. Peppermint oil is definitely something that can be helpful to remedy that. So that's one. Another oil that I like to use eucalyptus oil. And right now we are in the fall season in the northern hemisphere, and we're going to be moving into the winter season. And I keep eucalyptus oil around because, first of all, it kind of puts me in the mood for, around the holiday season, when the evergreens come around. Some people have them in the form of Christmas trees or wreaths or something like that. I just like to use the eucalyptus oil. I like the way it smells, and it is also very good if I start to feel like I'm getting a scratchy throat, or if I start to feel like that I may have some sort of respiratory or nasal issues going on, like in the form of a cold. I will put drops of eucalyptus oil along with sometimes peppermint oil or camphor in a diffuser and just have that going in my room, breathing in that oil and that scent, the scent of the oil, and it really has been helpful to help combat a lot of that. So eucalyptus oil, this is one that I definitely keep around, particularly during the fall or the changing season, the transitional seasons, as well as in the wintertime. It's an excellent oil to have around, and it smells really good too. So another one that I use, lemongrass. Love lemongrass. I love lemongrass because this oil, I actually take it even when I go on vacation. If I'm going to be traveling to a tropical area and I know I'm going to be out hiking or biking or really enjoying outside, I keep lemongrass oil. I use this as a natural bug repellent, particularly for mosquitoes. I actually even plant lemongrass when I can find the actual plants. I will put them out in borders and things like that on my deck or my porch so that because they naturally repel mosquitoes. For whatever reason, mosquitoes do not like lemongrass. and it smells wonderful. I love the smell of lemongrass. As you know, even in some cuisines, lemongrass is even used in food. This is a wonderful, wonderful oil. Again, it's really good if you want to have a natural way, a safe way to keep away mosquitoes. And if you just like the smell of it, like I do as well, it is really great in a diffuser. Some days I'm just in the mood where I want to smell lemongrass. It's a really nice, fresh smell, and it does have that nice lemony smell as well. Okay, here's another one that I really, really like, and actually I'm out of this one. I still have the bottle though to remind me to get some more. It's grapefruit oil. I really like grapefruit oil, and I use this one as like an air freshener too. I put it in drops of this in water, and then I can just spray my bedroom or wherever. I can even spray fabric with it. If it's diluted enough, I can even use this as a body spray. The reason why I really like grapefruit, and I really, really like this oil, particularly in the summer, because it gets so hot and gets sticky. And this is really refreshing for my body when I diffuse it with water. Also with grapefruit oil, it really gives me a lot of energy. So with grapefruit oil, it is known to be very, very refreshing. And so even some of the brands that have grapefruit oil or have grapefruit oil sprays, one of the things it will have on the label is it's refreshing. And so when I'm smelling even the grapefruit oil, even now, it's such a fresh, clean smell. So a lot of people like to have like air fresheners and things they spray their bathrooms with and stuff like that. This is one that I really, really like to use for that purpose, just to make everything smell fresh and new. And I just really like this particular oil, and it gives me a lot of energy. So grapefruit oil, definitely. Now this one is my lavender oil, and I keep lavender oil all the time. I don't care what time of the year it is. I use lavender oil for several reasons. One is lavender oil can be used to relax you. It is a great oil for that. I haven't used it for repelling any types of insects though, although the lavender plant, I did plant it this year to repel some insects from my deck, and I have been out there even at night and haven't even gotten bitten. So it may be able to be used also for an insect repellent. I don't know. The oil itself, I know the plant can be, but I use this because it is so relaxing. I like to use it at night. I do dilute this also in water, and sometimes I will spray. It's a very fine mist, but a bottle that I have, and I will spray sometimes even the pajamas that I'm wearing. Sometimes I will spray my hair. Sometimes I'll spray my pillow with this lavender oil because it relaxes me so much and allows the tension to release and for me to really get a good night's sleep and wake up feeling super refreshed. This one also I will use in bath water along with another combination of oils if I'm going to be taking a bath during the day, because I want to be energized, but I also want to be relaxed. Like if I'm about to go out and I'm going to coach or I'm going to give a talk or a workshop, I like to use some lavender oil along with maybe some grapefruit oil or tangerine oil in bath water, because it relaxes as well as the other oils give me energy, and it just puts me in a really good mood, really balanced. So lavender oil, really like this one. Oh, and one other thing I will tell you about lavender oil. Whenever you're traveling, particularly if you're going to climates where there's a potential for bed bugs, like for instance, there's a number of climates that you can go to where there are hotels and things of that nature. When you go into those places, sometimes you run into places where maybe there are potential for bed bugs. Anytime you go to a hotel anymore, This lavender oil is a natural repellent for bed bugs. And so if you mix it along with some alcohol and you spray your bags down after you get back, or you spray them even when you're there, or you spray once you get back, like your own bedding and things, you don't have to worry so much about bed bugs because they do not like this stuff, and it is a natural repellent and it helps to kill them. So lavender oil. Next oil that I really, really love is, oh, let me turn that around because I'm not endorsing any brands. It is frankincense oil. And this particular oil I have used for several different reasons. The very first time I bought frankincense oil, I was using it because I had a poodle at the time who had skin cancer. And one of the things, I was looking for a lot of natural remedies that might help her to extend her life because there was really no cure for her cancer. But I wanted her to have as good of a life as she could until she passed. And so one of the treatments that I found was using frankincense oil. So I used to put this in a diffuser, and in the room she would be in, and it seemed to really help her with symptoms, and her life really did was extended, along with some other treatments that I did for her that were natural. But with the frankincense oil, I found that it's helpful for that. I also found that it's very helpful if you have headaches. I have used this where I've had some rubbed into my temples and on the bottoms of my feet, and it's helped my headaches to go away. I also like the smell of the frankincense oil. Now, what's funny is when I was using this for my poodle, I really didn't like the smell of frankincense oil. It kind of reminded me, when I grew up, I grew up in Catholic schools, and oftentimes frankincense incense is burned in the church for the Mass. And I don't know, I just never liked that odor even as a kid. But funny thing is, when I got attracted back to the frankincense oil recently, now I actually like the odor of the frankincense oil. But it is a wonderful oil. It's helped me with tension headaches. I also had some issues with this hand here where a doctor told me I had torn ligaments in it, and I just had to basically wait till it healed and not injure it again. Well, the pain had continued, and as you can see, I'm still wearing my copper rings, and it helps with pain. But the frankincense oil has really, really helped a lot with stiffness and pain in this hand. So like even now, my hand, it's feeling good. It feels really, really good. So I use drops of frankincense oil on my hand and rub it in to help with the healing of the hand. I also put drops of this in my bath water along with the lavender oil and sometimes grapefruit or tangerine oil, because it feels so purifying when I use it. It just feels like it just does something for my body to help draw out any impurities. And once I get done taking a bath, having these drops in there and breathing in the scent of the oil, I just feel really, really good, whether I'm I'm about to relax or whether I'm about to go off and actually work or do something like that. So really, really enjoy, and I really like frankincense oil. It's a very, very powerful oil. There are some who say that you need to dilute this and others who say that you don't. You need to figure out, even when you are working with any of the oils, figure out what works also for your body, especially when there is, conflicting schools of thought about a particular oil. For me, I do dilute it in a diffuser. I dilute it in my bath water. If I'm having stiffness and pain in my fingers, though, I will put on a drop or two and just rub it in very well into my fingers. And I've never had a problem with it, but you could have a skin sensitivity. So you just make sure that you do what works for you. So, all right, tangerine oil. With the tangerine oil, I really enjoy this because this oil just makes me, I smell it and it just makes me happy. It's such a uplifting oil for me. I really, really like the smell of tangerine oil. And it's so pretty too. When I put drops of this in my bath water, it's just little drops, orange drops, really bright orange drops of oil in the water. But it smells like tangerines. And I don't particularly even like the taste of tangerines, but I like the smell of them. And so this particular oil just makes me, I just feel like I just get into such a good mood. Even if before I use this oil, I'm kind of feeling maybe blah or, kind of meh. Once I use this oil and I smell it, I just smile. I cannot help but to smile when I smell this oil. And it's just one of those oils that, I don't know, I'm just found an attraction to. I was in a store and I was smelling all of, different essential oils. And this one here, I just said, I just want this oil just because it just makes me smile. I'm just in a good mood when I smell it. I can't even be mad or frustrated or feel anything but happy during the time I'm smelling this oil. So, and this one great thing about tangerine oil is one of the less expensive essential oils. And so, and even if it weren't, I just really enjoy this oil anyway, because like the frankincense oil is probably my most expensive bottle of oil right now, and it's also my smallest. This is one of my least expensive. It makes me happy. And so even if it were more expensive, it just does something for my spirit. It does something for my mind. And when I put drops of this in my bath water, it does something for my body too, because it smells, I just think I smell really, really good after using the tangerine oil. So here's another oil. This is a combo oil that I've had, and I'm out of this too, but I really kept this particularly during the winter months, and it's a lemon eucalyptus oil. And so now I'm going to talk about the last oil that I actually have. I will add one additional oil after this to talk about, but this one is camphor. And with camphor oil, I really like camphor oil as well. It is one that I use again in diffusers or at the bottom of the shower. This is one that I keep around again for the purposes of kind of warding off any respiratory issues like from colds or the flu. It again has a really clean medicinal smell to it. I think earlier I said one of the oils had a medicinal smell. Yeah, I create words too, but I meant medicinal. But this particular oil, camphor, it's really good for that. Some people, with the research that I did, they use it to help combat bruising. It's supposed to help speed the healing process with bruising. I personally don't use it for bruising because I do not bruise very easily. I simply use it for more of the benefits that I think that it may give to help support the respiratory system. So this is one that I do keep around, and I keep it in a diffuser often, again, with peppermint oil as well as either lemon eucalyptus or eucalyptus oil. The combination of those smell very good in my house, and it just seems to really support the respiratory systems when we're breathing it in. This is another one that I might put a drop in the toilets along with some peppermint oil and maybe a drop or two of eucalyptus. It's a pretty strong oil, pretty powerful oil. So with this one, as with all essential oils, you don't need much, but with this one, you really don't need much because it's so strong and powerful. So now there's one more oil I want to talk about. I don't have that oil currently in stock here in where I live, but it's tea tree oil. Tea tree oil, I found, is a really great oil. I've used that oil in the past on my scalp. It seemed to be a very helpful oil for dandruff, at least for me. And my daughters. So using that for the scalp to combat dandruff. It is wonderful to have around in case I get a scrape or something like that, because it's known to have antibiotic, antimicrobial, and antiseptic properties to it. So with the tea tree oil, it is such an excellent oil. I have used that diluted with carrier oil to use on my skin, to use again on my scalp. It is one of those oils that can be really helpful, and it's one of the oils that oftentimes is recommended when you're doing your research to have as one of the oils that you keep on stock at all times. So thank you so much for listening to today's message. I wanted to get this message out about aromatherapy because there have been more people asking me about aromatherapy lately. I know some people who teach classes about aromatherapy, and they're doing some really great work out here. They teach them locally. And so I also wanted to get a message out to you as well about aromatherapy. It is something that I truly believe is quite helpful to us. We have been blessed by God to have all of these wonderful essential oils, all of these wonderful plants in nature that can really help us keep ourselves healthy in a very natural way, in a way that is very, very supportive to our systems. And so I just want to get that message out there to you about aromatherapy. It may be something that resonates with you and you want to start having your own collection. If you have your own collection of essential oils that you use currently, that is awesome. This message may just be another way to affirm what you're already doing. So feel free to share this video if you find that it may be helpful to someone that you know or people out on your social media. Thank you so much to all of you who have been sharing my videos lately and who have been subscribing to the channel. I truly appreciate it. It helps me to really feel supported in doing the work that I do. And if you would like to have more information or would like to contact me about coaching or getting a journal or anything like that, check out my website at www.drtjdixon.com. You can also find me out on Facebook at Dr. TJ Dixon at Taraji LLC. Thanks again for all of your support and for watching, and may you live your best life.